Hi, I'm Jared Falk and I'm the founder of Drumeo. Now over the years, I've had the huge pleasure of working with the best drummers and teachers in the world. During this time, I've been a student to these amazing drummers and literally have been a fly on the wall in these sessions. So today, I want to share with you the top 10 things I learned from working with the best drummers in the world. The first one I want to share about is Peter Erskine. We plan to film some Drumeo lessons and then we're set to travel to Victoria, BC by ferry to participate in the Victoria Drum Festival. So I was playing at the festival that year and my spot was right in between Peter Erskine and Dave Weckl. So you can imagine that I was insanely nervous. Now Peter is one of the most chilled human beings I have ever met. And he just said to me, just go do your own thing. Don't worry about what anyone else does. So no one can be a better version of you. No one can be a better version of me, Jared Falk. And I am the best at being me.
You're like one of my favorite drummers. Do you understand this? So the fact that you're here is just like blowing my mind.
So the second drummer I want to talk about is Benny Greb. Now I was once sharing with him about a lesson that I wrote, and it was about this new drum beat that I came up with. Now many times, my process for writing new lessons was simply creating grooves in my notation program. Then I'd learn the grooves and then teach them to our online students. Now when I told Benny this, he questioned the process and asked me, how do you know that what you're writing is going to work in a musical context? And to be honest, I didn't really know that everything I was writing would work. I just thought it sounded cool. And we all love cool sounding beats and fills, but actually being able to communicate with our vocabulary is much more important. So this has really inspired me to put more thought into all my lessons that I teach in the future.
Down home.
Next drummer is Redman. Now for those of you that know Rich, you know that he's one of the hardest working drummers in the industry. Now one thing that I learned from Rich is that you need to be easy to work with and always be open to new ideas. Now you'd think that someone who has such a wide range of experience would be a bit more hard-headed, but this guy is one of the best in the business. Now I want to talk about John Blackwell. As we were preparing for the lesson, he kept getting distracted by our conversations and he just wanted to show me some new music that he had discovered. He held so many other drummers up on a pedestal above himself and constantly wanted to share their music with me. So one of the many lessons I learned from John was to pay your respects to the great drummers that have paved the way for the new generation of up-and-coming drummers. Now the next drummer I want to talk about is Billy Cobham. The one thing that I was really inspired from with Billy was how much he was still learning every day. He was still writing new music, he was still studying new things on the drums and practicing, and he was doing everything in his power to stay on the top of his game. Next one is a fun drummer. This is Eric Moore. Now, if you haven't checked out Eric Moore's lesson, you need to right now, or maybe after this video. One of the ideas that was reinforced for me by watching Eric and listening to him teach was how we all need to continue sharing the love of drumming with the world as much as possible. And Eric's personality shines and does an amazing job of motivating drummers to practice and getting people who have aspired to play the drums to give it a shot. We loved having Eric at Drumeo, and we can't wait for the next lesson with him. Now, another artist I learned a ton from was Kenny Aronoff. Kenny was the second special guest that we had on Drumeo. He taught me to always focus on doing things at the highest level, never settling for second best. And the only way to do that is by working hard and smart. It's not one or the other. Another special guest drummer that I want to talk about is Elan Lewis. So with Elan, I learned the biggest thing was to always stick to my values, no matter what anyone says or thinks. Now, Elan is an amazing musician who operates with integrity at the highest level, and I'm so proud to have had him on Drumeo. Another very exciting artist was Gabor Doorn. After we had filmed this lesson, we went out for dinner and got to chatting. So as we're discussing people that we knew in the industry, something came up about a person that was sick and that couldn't play their instrument because of it. Now, Gabor got quiet and then told us about how grateful he is to have his health and to be able to play this amazing instrument. Now, I think we all take way too many things for granted sometimes, myself included. And I personally had the realization that I need to make every second count and always be grateful for this amazing opportunity to play drums and make music. Finally, we have a legend, Bernard Purdie. There's a time during Bernard's lesson where a student asked him what his #1 tip would be for new drummers. Bernard paused and then he said this.
Okay, I know that you're not going to want to hear what I'm about to say. The biggest mistake that drummers have is the worst thing that you can possibly do, and that is play with sneakers. Yes, I said it. Leather soles, so you can do this. You can move, you can slide, have fun with it. And you can also be on your toes.
Yeah.
That's your ultimate of your playing. And that's your hardness. But that leather sole shoes let you slide on that pedal.
Yeah.
Now, Bernard has amazing tips for drummers, and he shared a lot of them in that Drumeo lesson. But the one thing I learned from him is to not be afraid to tell my story. We all have a story. We're all unique, and there are people out there who can benefit from hearing your story. So I want to thank you all so much for watching this video and giving me some of your time. I really, really appreciate it. At Drumeo, we love helping drummers get better. So if you ever find yourself in need of some education and inspiration, please come by the website and we'll hook you up.